we have 4 simple rules. Number 1, we don't discuss politics, ever. Number 2, this is not a religious channel, and while you might hear people say, God bless you, or I'm going to pray for you, or I wouldn't have gotten through this without my faith, that's fine. What's not fine is to say, my God is better than your God, or here's why you're not getting into heaven. It's not going to fly. Number 3, we believe wholeheartedly if you can't control your tongue, then you can't control your life. So while on board, there's not going to be any cursing in the live chat. Period. And number 4, there is no room for mean people on the lifeboat. Because we discuss very sensitive things from people's past in our group setting, we got to protect those people. The only way they feel confident and comfortable discussing those things is in an environment that is free of trolls and mean people. So if you're a mean person or you're a troll, we're going to block you for life. And if your account happens to be less than 24 hours old, we're probably a little suspicious right from the word go. Why? Well, because there are people in this world who enjoy being cruel solely for the sake of being cruel. It's not going to fly here. But if you're here because you're trying to get sober and live your best life, then you might find that the lifeboat is just that, a lifeboat. I'm Captain Tommy Scoville, and we will see you on deck.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody is doing good. Give me 1 second. I'm sharing the stream real quick. But yeah, guys, Tommy has stuff he's got to do right now, so I'm going to be doing the show tonight. Sorry if you don't like it. Yeah, anyway, but yeah, so I'll be doing the show tonight, and we're going to talk about some pretty cool stuff. Article 42 was not taken down. The Supreme Court blocked it from being taken down from our current administration, which is a good thing. Whatever your political views are, it doesn't matter. You know, the fact that that article is not taken down is good for, well, everybody. Because that means that the chances of those illegal drugs are of them coming through down south, right, is a lot less. So just keep that in mind, guys, and that's why we were talking about it. We've been talking about this for almost a month, and it's important, right? So we definitely got to make sure that that's going on. Hold on 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. Take that. There you go. Sorry about that, guys. I had real life going on. I'm not sure if you guys heard me say any of what I said in the background, but I was just telling my wife and daughter they could turn the TV back up. I got my headphones on, so just so you know. But we do have some stuff to talk about, because this stuff is the stuff that they're stopping from coming in down south is definitely one of those things that I don't think any of us seen coming, right? You know, when we first started talking about even doing this channel, well, Tommy started it, and when me and him met, you know, and as we transferred over to a live show, I don't think either one of us really gave it much thought that there would be something different so quick, like fentanyl. You know, higher, that was a little bit more dangerous than fentanyl, and at this point it's not even just a little bit more dangerous, it's a lot more dangerous. Now, what I want to point out is that we're not the only ones talking about this now. And mainstream has been talking about this a little bit, and they've talked about this end of it. As far as the Article 42 thing that was put in place because of C+ math, right? And none of us really expected the Supreme Court to do what they did. And it's a great thing that they did. I think at this point now, just so you guys know, moving forward, this really is kind of like, like kicking it down a little bit. This is just a postponement of the inevitable, unless something else is put in place to stop this stuff. There has to be some legislative stuff that has to be introduced, and they have to go through the whole, all of the steps that they have to go through to get it, put into law, and all these policy changes and things like that. And frankly, like I said, guys, this is not a left or right side issue, because all this started back when it was on the right side. Now it's on the left side. It was back and forth. This has been, we're talking decades, right? This has been an issue. And now, because of communication, how immediate it is, everybody is now aware of it, right? And that's something that, I want you guys to understand, because we're not taking it's not a political stance or anything like that. But I will say this, that why it had to go to the level of a Supreme Court issue was really puzzling to me. So you guys have to understand that definitely was a political thing. And, whoever was leaning on who there, we're not going to get into that. I really just don't care to get into it, because it doesn't matter to me. All it matters to me is that was dropped. They dropped trying to, get that taken down for now. But again, we have to do what Steve does, our seventh son. This is the time that our actual voices could actually be heard, because there has been action taken to stop this thing from getting taken down. So now all of our, our senators and all that stuff, our representatives, they will, if they're ever going to be influenced by their constituents, it's now. And again, I don't care if you're blue or red here. I don't. Everybody needs to be writing these people and, doing what they can to let them know, hey, you get on the ball here, guys. Once it's time to bring Article 42 down, because it'll get taken down eventually. It has to, because it's not there to keep, illegal drugs out. It's there because of the, C+ math. So just make sure that if you can, write an email, do whatever you can do, right? I mean, I get it. And I understand that, some people don't know how to get to that. It's a simple Google search, guys. I mean, it really is. Write a 10-second letter. That's all it takes, because that's what they want to know. They want to know how many people want to go this way or the other way, and they want to if they're being the right way that they're supposed to be doing what their constituents want them to do. So with that being said, we're going to move on from that part of this discussion, because there's really not much else to say unless they start making more actions here to put something more permanent in place. And then of course we're going to talk about it, because it's going to help stop all these illegal drugs from coming in. And I'm kind of doing a little bit of a review of what we've talked, especially Tommy has went into a lot of the specifics of what was going on, and what, if you read my thumbnail, I'd have to go back and see my thumbnail to even, I guess I could do that. Give me 1 second. I'll do that real quick. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Anyway, I know what it roughly says. Where did all the heroin and fentanyl go? Well, guys, like it says in the thumbnail, we found it. We know where it went. And it found friends, and it's turned into something else. And The reason why I'm putting it forth like this is because, again, we're not the only ones talking about this anymore. This has now hit like documentary organizations like Vice. If you guys have never seen anything that Vice has done, I really don't recommend anybody in early recovery, especially, to go watch any of those, because they are completely direct raw in what they show you. You will see literal overdoses. You will see people using drugs, and this is real stuff, right? This is what you're going to see. You're going to see the streets of, there's one in particular that was put out on the 16th. Okay, I forget what it was called, and forgive me for that, but actually, if you give me 1 second, because I do want to drop this link in there, because I think it's important that if anybody wants to see this, that they can. Oh goodness, hold on 1 second, sorry. But again, I don't recommend anybody go watch this if any of the stuff I just said before this is a trigger. Okay? If it triggers you to see people doing what a lot of us did back in the day, don't watch this. Okay? Because you're going to get triggered. So do not watch any of that. And again, I kind of kicked back and forth whether or not I wanted to show you any of the video, which I'm not going to do. Okay? I just, I don't think it would be responsible of me to do that right now. If we decide to do something like that in the future, we'll tell you right at the beginning before we show any of it, and it'll probably be in the title. But because we don't want to hit somebody on the side with that, because that's a hard, we don't want to trigger anything with anybody. And I'm trying to find the stupid title here, because man, sorry, I am sorry, I don't want to take up your guys' time here. Okay, maybe it's back another. Okay, it's called, this is the title of the video, it's called Benzo-Dope and Trank, the next wave of the overdose, let's see here, overdose crisis. Okay, this is what they're calling it. This isn't my words or Tommy's words or anybody else's words. This is somebody else that doesn't really have a vested interest in trying to help the drug world and the recovery world. This is just a reporter that has done a 42 minute mini documentary on what's going on right now, and this was posted on the 16th of May this year. So this was posted well after me and Tommy started talking about this, and anybody that has listened to any of our videos on this, they're going to see that some of the words and some of the stats and stuff that they use, we were already telling you guys. And this is, like I said, I've not seen anybody else talk about this to the level that me and Tommy have, and to the level of that Vice has. Now, Vice is, again, guys, whatever your opinion is of these kinds of organizations or what have you, I don't, it's not my, I'm not going to tell people to choose this or choose that. All I'm saying is this one in particular is definitely one that I think everybody should check out. Okay? And again, it's called, well, I guess I could, let me do this. I know what I can do. It's going to be under my Wages World account, guys. I'm gonna put it in the chat here. Give me 1 second. Okay. Let me get the chat back up. All right. And again, do not watch this if seeing people deal drugs, use drugs, talk about it. They show neighborhoods and they show people injecting their drug. They show all this stuff, guys. Okay, so this is not something that anybody in early recovery should be watching, in my opinion. especially if you already know it's a trigger for you. Okay, so I just posted it in there under my Wages World account. Please, anybody else that feels like they're strong enough, you'll get a really good idea about what's going on in the world, at least down there, and why things are happening the way that they are. And I have to say that this is a worldwide problem, but especially for us here, and you have to include Canada in this. They're having a massive problem up there too. Okay? That's why you don't hear people talk about the northern border, right? Because why would it be any different? If it was coming from the north or the south, it's still our border. Well, it's not coming from the north, and there's a reason for that. So that's what I'm trying to say. Now, a lot of these, I'm going to talk about what these actually are and what is actually going on, because the title of that video is called benzo-dope. What does that mean? It means exactly what you think it means. I mean, it really floored me, guys, that they're doing this. They are legitimately combining benzodiazepines, which are your Xanaxes, your Ativan, all that stuff, with fentanyl. And I can't even believe I have to say this. That is so... It's so deadly, okay? And let me explain how deadly it is. People that are doing this, like I said, they're calling it benzo-dope or they're calling it trank. They're actually using tranquilizers too, right? We have to understand that fentanyl is a synthetic drug, right? It's not something that they just pull straight off natural plant like heroin was. That's an opiate, right? It's more of a natural type of process or what have you, but when we're talking about synthetics, what's that mean, right? That means it's not a natural thing that occurs, so it's really kind of, you know, they might use opium or whatever to synthetically make it and mutate it or whatever they need to do. But when you hear that word synthetic, that means that it's mimicking something, typically. And when you can mimic something, that means there's a lot of other things out there that they could probably go to mimic anything. And that's exactly what we're seeing. Even with the fentanyl itself. You know, back in the last, I'll just use years, because I hate equating this to like this administration or that administration. So, you know, back in the last time we had a different president, I guess we'll say, he talked and he set up this, not necessarily him, just what was going on in the world. They got his counterpart over there, you know, Mr. The country north of Taiwan, the president of that nation, to make it illegal for for those companies to ship fentanyl out to us. Okay, so what happens when they did that? You guys know? I know we talked about it a little bit here, a lot really. Well, what they did was, again, it's synthetic. So now people got online. They sell, guys. I'm telling you, this is an online thing. This isn't something, and it does come in on like cargo ships in the background and all that stuff too, like we always see with drug transfers. But this is stuff that you can get on the internet and have it shipped straight to your house. And if you think I'm lying, they show that in that Vice video. Literally. Okay? And she actually, the reporter here, actually called or got in touch with one of these companies. And when she did that, she started having a text conversation with the person selling from over there. And she was asking, because they were talking about stuff like the nitazine that we have talked about here. Okay? The company that she was, or the people that was selling it over here, or two over here from the big red machine over there, I guess we'll call it. was telling her how to get around certain things, and she was asking just direct questions. Is it legal over here? Is it comparable to fentanyl? Can I combine it with fentanyl? And typically you would think that they would, not want to answer those questions, right? That company had a text conversation with her for a decent amount of time. Now, it was kind of abbreviated until that guy or girl, whoever she was talking to, did say, hey, we don't like to talk about that kind of thing, for obvious reasons. But they did get some questions answered. So what I'm saying is that, and then one of the questions was this: what happens if it gets stopped by customs? You know what the answer to that was? It said, we will resend it to you. I'm not even kidding. When I seen that, my chin about hit the floor. I was like, are you kidding me? Customs stops this as it can't come in, so they're going to go ahead and send it to you again? Really? And they're using UPS. I'm chuckling because it's so ridiculous to me that this is going on. Sorry about that, guys. My mouth gets dry. I do apologize for that. But again, guys, I want you guys to understand that, I know we've talked about this before, but this is how important this line of thinking and what's going on is. Because if you were to go watch this, they actually follow a drug dealer around, right? That happens a lot over there on Vice. They're able to get, contacts, and they show their face and everything. They actually show this woman making the drug. Okay? And it for people that have never seen stuff like this, it'll probably blow your mind that she legitimately is using a kitchen pan at a house that, where she's selling out of and all that. And she's adding food coloring to it, so she knows the difference between that and cocaine. Did you hear what I said? So, adding food color so she knows the difference. Now, why am I making a big deal about that? Because she is not a pharmaceutical company. She is not under any regulations, and she is human. What's that mean? That means she can make a mistake. What if, just what if, she forgot to put the food coloring in one of them? Now what happens? Now she has a big bag of what she thinks is, powdered cocaine. Now it is this highly potent, above a fentanyl strength powder opiate that she's given to the people she's selling cocaine to. What do you think's going to happen? They're going to drop that down, and they're going to do what they do with that, and they're going to die. Okay? Because people that are on cocaine, Narcan does not work for cocaine, right? So I would imagine, and I can't say this for sure, but I would say that if anybody is just hooked on like an amphetamine or cocaine or whatever we're talking about on that end of it, they probably aren't carrying Narcan around with them. Okay? So could you imagine if that mistake was made? And I'm not going to say if, because I really think it's probably already happened. I bet if we did some research, we could find something out there that said, hey, we had a big rash of these people in this same neighborhood that all died over an overdose in like a week or a couple days from a bad batch of cocaine. That's probably what it would say. Okay? So, and it's hard for me and it's hard for Tommy to really be able to come out here and just fully show you guys how serious this is, because the only way to really get people to understand the level of what we're talking about is to look at that kind of stuff. And we will not trigger anybody, okay? And that's why we're not. And that's why I'm telling you guys, you know, there's that, you know, here I'll post a link again real quick while I'm talking about it. This is to that Vice video. Anybody that is strong, and if you've had problems in the past of any of these triggers or anything like that, don't watch this, okay? I'm just bringing this up, and I want anybody that, you know, people, especially people here that have families that aren't necessarily here, that are that have never had a drug issue. They're here because of family members that have, they're learning and that kind of thing. That's there. Okay, and again, guys, I mean, it's not something that you guys wouldn't have been able to find anyway. My guess is that a lot of you guys probably already know about Vice, because, you know, people that are in the drug world, while they're doing their drug, they're talking about all these Vice documentaries and stuff. Okay, it's a very, very popular documentary channel, news outlet, whatever you want to call it. These guys get down and dirty, man. I mean, they really do. They go into the jungle. They even do crazy like funny stuff. And again, I'm not propagating for Vice. I'm just saying that this is the level that it's gotten to now. That it is big enough now that now bigger documentaries, bigger news outlets and stuff are picking up this story. They're dedicating reporters to these kinds of things. And it's lending validity to what me and Tommy have been talking about, and others, you know. But I would have to say that me and Tommy, or the Lifeboat, you guys included, are really the ones screaming about this pretty loudly. And again, there's others out there doing it too, but not like you know, I'm not trying to say we're the only ones, is what I'm trying to say. So, and we're not. You know, I'm not trying to put a feather in our hat for any of that. I don't care who's right or wrong. I just, I really truly think that this is one of those subjects that if we don't talk about it, that people are going to, oh, I don't know, yeah, have issues. Oh, man. Give me 1 second here, guys. Hey, DJ. Hey, thanks a lot, bud. I appreciate you. Hey, Lewis. Hey, you go get you some sleep, man. Trying to catch up here, guys, on the chat. I know, again, I know I jumped right into it because there's a lot to talk about there. Methadone free. Hey, 2 years off and 45 years of methadone. It can't be done. Can't be or can be? You're 2 years off of it, and you was on it for 45 years? Wow. If that's the case, man, that's impressive. Good job. I mean, I'm not even just kidding. That is awesome. I mean, that is extremely impressive. And I'm glad to meet you. I'm glad you're here. You know, glad to meet you, methadone free. That's an awesome thing. I mean, that's impressive. That impresses me. That's for daggone sure. But yeah. Charlie, what's up, bud? Alan, my brother. Hey, what's up? Roxanne, I'm saying hi to everybody real quick. Hey, Ryan. Pamela, Seventh Son, good to see ya. Roxanne, Pamela, Jesse, what's up, Jesse? Joanna, what's up, sister? Full of Hope, what's happening? Brandon, what's up, brother? Okay, Stacy, how you doing? Noise Opera, what's up? Love back at you. I think I said hi to Lewis already. Hi again, Lewis. Well, thanks for the super chat, 7th. And DJ, thank you, man. I mean, it really, yeah. Not necessary, but thank you. It's appreciated. Hey, Miss Hermit, what's happening? Make sure you're driving safe. Hey, Truth, what's up? Ugly Hobo, what's happening? I'm just saying hi real quick. Sorry. Hey, Bex, what's up? Ain't seen you in a minute. Good to see you. Okay, I think that's probably everybody. All right. Okay. Yeah, I have, Ryan. And again, hey, Leisure, what's up? And, guys, listen, I'm not trying to push forward anybody's programs or anything like that. I'm not getting behind anything at that level. I'm just saying that when you watch stuff like this and when you see something, for it to affect me the way that it did, and I've been in recovery for, you know, over 10 years now, going on 11. You know, that says something. It really does. It honestly, truly does. Hey, Stacy. Good to see you. Oh, man. Hey, full hope. Jason in here? I don't think I said hi to Jason. Hey, Jason. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Yeah, stay strong, Jason. You know, early on, it's not easy. I promise. I think you know that. Most of us that are here are kind of new. We understand. Back at you, Bex. Back at you, man. But guys, listen. When we're talking about this subject in particular, you know, I said in the thumbnail, you know, went out and got friends and now they're killing people, right? That's exactly what happened. Okay? If you'd have said to me 5 years ago that there was going to be a drug being sold that was a combination of a benzodiazepine and a highly potent opiate all at the same time, and people were choosing to buy this stuff and use it, I'd have told you you were nuts. I really would have. Because this is only, and I'm telling you, only going to get worse. It's not going to magically fix itself, okay? And you know, when they're over on that video, guys, she was talking about, you know, she actually was in the car with that drug dealer and kind of went and did the rounds with her and all that kind of stuff. And that drug dealer actually had a house where she would allow people to come in, and this is pretty common, and do what they do, right? And what's happening now is people are now getting hooked on the benzo-dope or the trank, right? They're getting hooked on these things, and believe it or not, this really shocked me when I seen this a little bit, that the fentanyl isn't helping them. It's crazy to me. I mean, did you hear what I said? The fentanyl's not getting them right, or getting them to where they feel okay. Because guys, how many times have we got on here and told you how dangerous it is to withdraw off of a benzo, which is the same thing in a pill as alcohol? How dangerous is that? People die from that withdrawal. So now you've combined two of the most horrific withdrawing processes all wrapped up into one. I thought it was cruel when I did my 5 days in-house rehab at the beginning of my recovery that they wouldn't allow these people to smoke cigarettes and was making them kick the opiates or benzos or whatever else they were on all at the same time, right? I thought it was cruel just for the cigarettes. Could you imagine going through both of those at the same time? Because that's what you would do if you tried to get clean. You would have to try to drop both of those. I mean, wow. I don't know, man. What you got there? Hey, Ryan. Is it that bad, though? I don't know what that means, bud. Did I miss something? I'm sorry if I missed something there. But if you're asking me if it's that bad, yes, it is. Okay? I mean, as far as if you think that, if I'm saying that this is killing people, this is one of the most horrible processes you could ever go through, it's tough. Yeah, it is. It's tough. It's a tough process to go through. You're going to quit cold turkey and not tell anyone. I don't know how to respond to that, bud. I think we've talked about that here, even with you, but I don't know what to say there, bud. Please don't do that. You know, especially if it's alcohol or benzos, I really would strongly suggest not to do that. If you need, you know, somebody to talk to or whatever, please reach out to Tommy or myself, and we can try to help you, man. But I would not. That's not something I would do. And guys, there's a disclaimer at the top of the video, and we put that there because it's important, not for us. it's important to let you guys know that we aren't doctors. We're just sharing our life experience and what we're going through, okay? And what we've been through and what we see. And that's all that this is. You know, Marth over on Marfugal says it really, really well when he says, you know, take it with a grain of salt. You know, do your own research, make your own decisions. Every time you say you're going to do something that doesn't work out, well, we can, yeah, you don't have to be that way. You know, here's the thing. This is what I would say. What I would say is, let me think about this for a second, man. This is one of those that I don't want to put it across this way, that and for it to come out wrong. If you don't tell somebody, you're actually taking a level of accountability that you need there. Okay? You're ripping out the rug of any kind of help you're going to be able to have. And I don't think that any of us could really do it on our own. And again, even if you didn't have the physical thing, like with coming off of alcohol or what have you, if I remember right, I think yours is alcohol, right, Ryan? I mean, I know you've told us all that. I just can't remember what. But please don't do something like that on your own. You know, if you say it doesn't work, you know, basically what you're saying there is you don't want to let other people down. Well, I can promise you that if all the bad things happen when you're doing stuff like that on your own, you'd really be letting them down in a bigger way. That's what I would say to you. And I would say that to anybody. And it's only because I care. Because you would. Especially if people are even around you and you start doing this on your own and you're still trying to live your life, you won't be able to. People are going to see it and they're going to wonder why. So just please, you know, yeah, reach out if you need something, man. I mean, somebody here, go to the Facebook group, guys. If you don't want to talk to me or Tommy, go to the Facebook group, reach out to the numbers here on the bottom of the screen. There's always somebody there all the time, 24/7 at these, if you follow these avenues. And I know that when you're if you're either using or drinking at that time, that most people aren't going to take the time to go down that road, right? I mean, I get that. But please have that hit in your mind, like, hey, that's there. Maybe program the number into your cell phone so you can hit speed dial if you need to. That kind of thing. And if you start feeling like really, really bad, take your butt to the hospital. They'll find help for you. They actually have to, by law, if you didn't know that. But yeah, yeah, you make a good point there, full of hope. Yeah. Yeah, the guy, I don't really know what to say, man. I mean, you know, we love you and we're here for you. You know, I hope that you do what you can do for yourself. And again, I'm going to say it one more time, then I'm going to not say it again because I've said it probably 100 times. Please don't try to come off of that just by yourself. Somebody has to know. Just for any other reason that, you know, people, I'm assuming that you at least you wouldn't care about all that of letting other people down if you didn't have people in your life that loved you. You know what I mean? So those people that love you, even though they might come at you in a bad direction or whatever, they actually care at some level. So, you know, I don't know your whole personal situation or anything, but yeah, Scott, that's yeah. Good to meet you, by the way. I think that's your first time here, Scott. But it's good to meet you, man. I'm glad you're here. But yeah, what you said there is, yeah, did a withdrawal from a decade of pharmaceuticals by myself. Yes. Okay, and I'm assuming it's probably opiates, if I'm correct here. That's what most people did, especially if you're talking like just not too long ago, like a decade back. That's me, right? I did the pill thing, the pain pill thing, for quite some time, and yeah. Yes, you definitely belong here, Cultivate. 100% you belong here. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad all you guys are here right now. Hey, Pamela, what's up? I'm just glad you guys are here. And again, you know, the main goal of what we do here, if anybody hasn't figured this out yet, is that communication. Because me and Tommy don't have all the answers. There's still things that we are trying to figure out for our own sobriety. And that's never going to be any different. Okay? If you ever hear somebody that says that they haven't 100% figured out, I can promise you that they don't have it 100% figured out. And for somebody to say that they do, it's pretty egotistical, and they're probably not going to bend off of that. So they're not going to have the best interest. They're more concerned about being right than they are about actually helping somebody. You see what I'm getting at? This is going to be a lifelong process for everybody here. Now, it doesn't have to be like in your face for the rest of your life. That's not what I'm saying, because it's not for me. Like I said, I'm 10 years sober, guys. Opiates, yeah, Scott, that's kind of what I figured. You know, judging by your avatar, see roughly what your age is, and 10 years with that. And yeah, man, good job if you kicked it, man. Awesome, man. Awesome stuff, man. I'm glad you're here. I'm sure you probably have some advice for people, and you're welcome to share that in there. If anybody has, you know, if you're willing to answer their questions or whatever, I'm sure that they'll, you know, when you walk through the door here, if you haven't figured this out yet, and if you've been here before, I apologize, Scott. I don't mean to be like forgetting people or anything like that. I just don't remember. If you've been here, I don't think you spoke a whole lot, but yeah, I mean, your family when you walk through the door. That's kind of what we say, because it's the truth. You usually get hit with the highs, how you doing, that kind of thing, glad you're here, and they actually mean it. Yeah, thanks, guy. I appreciate you, man. And you know, guys, and that's the thing. You know, and I get goosebumps when I talk about this stuff, because all the bad stuff that we did, you know, once we get to a certain level, and Scott said he kicked his habit, and, you know, I'm sober, what, close to 11 years, like I just said. It amazes me, because you look back on what you did, and to see somebody else other than yourself that has done it, and I get that advantage because I get to talk and see Tommy a lot more than probably what you guys do, and I think he sees the same thing when he looks at me. It's like it's recovery success is what I call it, and that's exactly what I see. And when you can go to the bathroom and look in the mirror, or to your bedroom and look in the mirror, like I'm looking at Tommy through this computer, and you guys are looking at me. Now you're looking at the mirror and you're looking at yourself, and you see the success when you're looking through the mirror. That is an awesome feeling. Okay, if anybody has ever felt that and they relapse back into their drug, which is whatever, right? I mean, you know, statistics will tell you that most likely we don't concentrate on that, because we don't want to be the 80%. We want to be the 20%. But what I'm saying is that if you can remember how that felt, that can lead you back to that again. It is a very awesome, powerful tool that you can have in your belt if you got clean for any amount of time. Because you can whip that out at any time when you're in your weak moment and say, hey, listen, I kicked your, well, lack of a better word, I kicked your ass down the street, you know, 5 years ago. I can do it again. That's why, you know, Tommy talks about a lot of a wasted relapse. That's what he's saying. If you don't remember that, if you don't take that feeling and put it in your pocket, it's a wasted relapse. I mean, if it's going to be part of the process, you don't want to waste it. Exactly, methadone free. Exactly. And that impresses me so much. Yeah, you're nearly 70. I mean, my gosh, people. Amphetamine. Oh my God. Clozapam, cigarettes, and heavy alcohol. Wow. I mean, you were in it. So, guys, if you think it can't be done, she did it after all of that. Does that, like, just boost people at all? If it doesn't, it should. It really should. And one more time, like yesterday, guys, before I forget, do me a favor right now, hit that like button. I mean, I'm serious. Just try to see what we can do here, because I'm thinking people are forgetting to hit it, or if they don't want to, whatever. I mean, it's not that. I'm just trying to figure out some analytics in the background to make sure we're giving you guys what you guys need or want, so we can get help to as many people as we can. We do look at that a little bit because it lets us know what you guys are going through a little bit in your life, and we'll try to, you know, kind of guide the conversation to those kinds of things. So that does help us. So if you could just go ahead and smack that like button. I know that Chris Kiss Freak isn't in here right now, so I'll say it. Go Hulk smash that button. I love it, love it, love it, love it. Oh man. Ain't that right, Stacy? That's awesome, isn't it? You know, that's something that you can really be proud of. I'm not even kidding. I have so much respect for people that not only have they beaten something like that, but now she's talking. Sorry, Ryan. That's funny, by the way. She's telling other people. The fact that she's putting it in the chat, she doesn't have to. She's driving, she just said. So please don't be texting and driving, first off. Let me be the parent here. I'm just kidding. But no, I really wouldn't want you guys to do that. That's a very dangerous thing. I've actually had somebody close to me lose their life because of that. It's not a... Yeah, we don't want that, any of that kind of stuff to happen. But the fact that she's taking the time to put that in there when she has, you know, nothing telling her to. She's not being forced, is what I'm saying. She's not being pressured or anything like that. She's sharing it, right? Why would she share that? Well, number one, it probably makes her feel good to be able to tell people, hey, I beat this. But why does she feel good? She's probably feeling good because she knows when she says it, she's letting you guys know that it can be done. Okay, she's the 20% that we talk about. And that 20%, if we do what we do, and people start to see what we're doing, like methadone free here, that 20% will grow. Eventually the stat won't be 20%. Eventually it'll be 30. And hopefully, eventually it'll be 40. And if we keep moving with this, if it really does, you know, if we can do it, 50, you know, how awesome would that be? You cut the, you know, the overdose numbers. I've seen some, you know, some preliminary numbers on it for this next coming, some historic data that they kind of halfway try to predict what's going to happen in the future. I mean, guys, we're looking at between 150 and 200,000 overdose deaths coming in for the next year. You hear? I mean, I'm going to say this again. Did you hear what I said? That's 150 to 200,000 people that did not have to die. Because there are steps that we can take to stop it. To at least defer that. So if we can cut that number in half, my gosh, how many people is that? How many people's sons, daughters, mothers, uncles, friends, spouses? How many people is that? Right? We say an extra 50,000 people. Guess what? You take that 50,000 and you times that by 10. Why am I saying 10? Because typically you have at least 10 people around you that give a crap about what happens to you. That's 500,000 people that affected. Think about that for a second, guys. I know most people don't do that math in their head and all that and think about it that deeply, because when we think about recovery, we think it's just for ourselves. We think it's only affecting us and maybe the 2 or 3 people that live in our house. No. Anybody that you love, anybody that loves you is affected. When you are doing your drug, if you were to, the bad thing happen, right, and not be here anymore, who's that going to affect? Anybody that ever cared about you, it will affect them. Think about that, okay? And do that math in your head. Say if we cut 50,000 overdose deaths for next year, you take that times 10, that's 500,000 people that are positively affected by stopping all this crap. That's why this is important. And yeah, hopefully voice to text, Hummingbird, for sure. Good to see you, by the way. Yeah, voice to text for sure. Got to do that, huh? 100, man, 100. Heck yeah. That's right, methadone free. On you, voice to text, voice to text. You impress me so much, you and Scott both. That's just an awesome thing. You guys don't have to come on here and share that. And how often do we see that, crew? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, guys? How often do we see that happen? People come on here and start sharing. That's you guys. Thanks, Alan. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for praying for everybody. I really, I quit to them all in 2 years, all of them. The key is to ask God for direction. Your higher self, parallel self, is a sponsor, not a human. Yeah, she's talking about the spiritual there. Guys, we don't consider ourselves a religious channel, but we also don't deny that our own personal beliefs spiritually can help, right? And that's going to be different for everybody in here, and we don't judge. That's why we're able to, get to the level of help that we give each other. So thank you for saying that. That's very, very valid. Hey, Michelle. That's okay. Please make it back, Michelle. We miss you, for sure. I missed something, Cultivate? I must have missed what you said there. Yeah, Ryan, I think I caught something there. It says, what did you say there a second ago? I wanted to... You still cracking me up with the forgetting to hit the like button thing, man. Oh, but they will allow it. That's what I wanted to... That's what Ryan said. Ryan said, but they will allow it. And I think he was referring to his family allowing him to, slip down into a darker hole. Okay? And guys, I don't pretend to know Ryan's situation or even my own sometimes. But if you go down, the road of if they'll allow it, it's going to lead you to a dark place. And the reason I say that, and I don't want this to come out the wrong way, I guess what I'm saying is that even if they are allowing it, you got to prove them wrong. You got to take that accountability for yourself. You know what I mean? And show them. Like we've been talking about here for months now, but we've really been concentrating on, hey, we can't just say it. We got to show them. Right? We got to lead, not really lead. Just show them that we're an example. And if we say we're going to do it, we follow through with it. That's how you build really, really strong relationships. And that's how people start to trust one another. And that's how all of that happens. And at the end of the day, if you do that, everybody benefits. So even if they are allowing whatever to happen, you don't have to allow it. That's what I'm saying. Because if you don't, then there's nothing there for them to allow you to do. Oh, okay. I was a little off there. Sorry about that, man. Yes, okay, yeah. I actually agree with that. Yeah, our government is. Yeah, for sure. They're allowing it to happen. I mean, obviously, I think that's it's a good point there for sure. And if we all recognize that, guess what? If we see that they're allowing it, then we need to do what we need to do, like Seventh Son does, and try to get those people changed out, if you know what I mean. Right? Even if it doesn't work, you have to give that effort. That's why, we don't concentrate on that 80% of people that are in addiction relapse, right? We don't ever concentrate on that number, because what you want to do is you don't want to have that thought in your mind. You want that 20% that succeed. If you keep that as your focus and not focus on, 80% of us relapse, what happens is that becomes an excuse for you to relapse. It does. You'll start justifying it like that. Now, if you end up relapsing, then yes, we're going to probably tell you, hey, 80% of the people walking around today have been through the same thing you do. Have been through. And we say that because it's just the God's honest truth. But we don't need to focus on that. So yeah. But it's about that time, guys. It is at the top of the hour. I know that this wasn't like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to call it cutting edge or like, whatever we want to call it. But, guys, I think this is important. This is an important conversation for us to have. And when we have something happen like what happened today that can actually help us slow this crap down, which it has, okay? It most definitely has helped slow down the flow of the crap coming through our southern border, okay? I mean, I don't think anybody on either side of the aisle can deny this. And that's why our Supreme Court did what they did. They're putting it on pause for now, because I think what's going to happen, if you want my opinion, again, my opinion, that they're giving the legislative part of our government some time to get some things in place before they drop it. Okay, I think that's the goal. Now, if that's really what's going on and that's what they're trying to do, I'm all for that, right? But if it's just a political stunt to get them through election time coming down, this November, because this is going to be a big one this year, and again, we're not going to talk about politics, but that's why a lot of these big subjects are coming up. And I'm not even going to go into the other subject that's going on right now, because everybody has a different opinion on that, and right now that has nothing to do with drug addiction. So we're not going to talk about that here. So, but yeah, or alcoholism, addiction in general. I want to apologize to you guys, because I know that I say drug addiction a lot. When I say that, it's because that's what I went through. I oftentimes forget to include the alcohol in that, but I strongly believe that it's, I don't want to call it the exact same, but it's in the same family, okay? They each have their own thing, and just because I wasn't an alcoholic, I've shared with you guys what happened with my uncle. He died from that. It was horrific, just to be honest. It was one of the most, when I explain it to people when I don't want to talk about it, you guys can probably see it's changing my mood right now as I think about it. And usually I'll say this and just move on to a different subject because it bothers me. It was like a Freddy Krueger movie. And I'm just going to leave it at that. And I had to clean the mess up, because I didn't want my grandpa going back in there to see that. So I know what that what alcohol can do to families. I've seen it. Just because I wasn't that alcoholic, just like my family was not weren't opiate addicts, doesn't mean that they were not going through my addiction with me. Okay? We have to understand that. And, you know, at sometimes, especially like our kids and our spouses, go through a worse addiction when they're not even addicted to anything. Yeah. So, but anyway, guys, I love you guys. Thanks for the, stopping in to support. And I really hope you guys come back tomorrow. And we'll be doing this again. Tommy will be back tomorrow, I'm sure. But we are going to bounce back and forth, right? Oh, hold up. Forgot. Like I said, guys, Tommy's got a cat. I got an R2D2. Here, let me change the color of that. There's a green one. Green R2D2. Blue. Here we go. I think it's changing on its own now. It's in that setting. Green. Purple. I actually have a Millennium Falcon that sits on top of this thing too. And a X-Wing fighter and a Yoda. I don't put the Yoda one out because I got Grogu behind me a lot. But anyway, guys. Yeah, guys, please come back. And anybody that needs help and anybody that shared tonight, thank you. Hey, Sid, what's up, bud? Yeah, for sure. For sure, Sid. Good to see you, man. All right, guys. I am going to go ahead and pop off. God bless. And like Tommy says every show, got one mission between now and tomorrow, 23 hours. What is that? Go out and save somebody. Love you guys. See you tomorrow.